I think we've got it in a minute. In a minute. Stream started on going to Amazon, and my finger is poised on the button on the iPad, waiting for the signal to actually come through. And it may take a second or two, but it does say go live. So I can run back to the studio, move the card down, and say, hello, Fraser.
Hiya, Stephen. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, sir. And today's show is different. Today's show is lights, camera, chat. And I'm with my good friend, Fraser Hay, and we're going to be talking about all the books that are down in the carousel on Amazon Live. So if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or my website, then click the link that's up above and come and watch us on Amazon Live, and you'll get a better idea of what is actually going on in this broadcast. And if you're watching on Amazon Live whilst we're live, I want to say thank you very much. And I know it's 9 a.m. in the States, but it's 10 a.m. in the States. It's 3 p.m. here. I'm just going to hide that card and take it off screen. Just leaving you and I. Okay, there we have it. We're away. All good. Right, now, when did you actually start writing books?
When did I start writing books? Oh, golly. In fact, I'll tell you, it was 2008. I had signed up where we met, actually. It was online in a platform called eacademy.com.
Oh, yeah.
And I just started doing things on the platform, and lo and behold, very quickly I started getting sign-ups and registrations and having conversations on MSN Messenger and Skype back then, and then on the phone. As I was watching everybody running around hotel receptions in the IOD in London and going to cafes for meetings, I thought, just stick to doing it online. And I then wrote a book, my first book, How to Make Money on eAcademy. And I think from memory, it had like 1,500 downloads in the first 2 weeks that I put that live. And I had a lot of fun. And of course, we met and we set up the group, the Red Hand Gang in there. And we met a lot of people from over 30, 40 countries, many of which have subsequently joined the It Stacks Up group on Facebook as well. So, yeah, it's been quite a while.
It has. I mean, that's back in mid-2000s, isn't it? And that Academy was the first genuine meeting place for business people. And it had tens of thousands of members. It was Facebook before Facebook, wasn't it? Because you could start groups, you could write blogs, and blogs are still going strongly, and you could connect with people. And it is where it all began. I mean, we've got groups which came out of that, which are still active on Facebook. In other words, a nucleus of 300 to 400 people actually still are in contact with each other, not necessarily on a daily basis, but we know how to contact each other when we need.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been to weddings from people that I met on eAcademy. I've been asked to be part of people's legal team on the other side of the world as part of meeting people on eAcademy. I've started businesses, sold businesses. I mean, networking has been revolutionized by the internet, more so with some of the tools that we're now using with the likes of BeLive, StreamYard, and some of the other live video networking tools and webinar tools that really help to get your message out to your intended audience. But even back then, eAcademy, you could publish a post and you can be spidered and found on Google within 15 minutes. It really was that fast, and that's more than 10 years ago.
It is, and thank you for mentioning BeLive. I've just put the logo up on screen. We are broadcasting. We're broadcasting today from BeLive, both Fraser and I, and we'll be using the facilities within BeLive throughout this broadcast. So I'll leave that there for a moment. One of which is we can put our names on screen. So I've just noticed out the corner of my eye, my iPad has got a message on it, and we say hello to Corinda. Okay, and he's saying, hey, Stephen, I got your notification. Fraser, what's your Amazon front store? He would love to follow you. Now, That's basically Corinda. Corinda, you must have known we were talking about you just before we came live. And Fraser is having an Amazon store. Well, you've got. Let's get started, because you've chosen 5 of your books to actually show. But before we do that, I've got to ask you a question.
You can also go to fraserhay.com, which is my author page on Amazon. So it links to 20 odd books that I've got on Amazon at fraserhay.com. So
okay, so that directs everybody to Amazon, which is good, because basically we don't want to take people away. Right, okay, so question number 1, Fraser. In your mind, what is marketing?
What is marketing? I've been asked that a few times recently. For me, marketing is the art and science of being able to persuasively communicate the benefits of the solutions you offer in solving the problems, needs, and frustrations of your target audience. And I think that's true, but your target audience are now using many ways of finding you, or at least looking and searching for a solution to their problems, be it a product, be it a service, be it software. And we're all trying to get our message out to those people that we can help. And I think that's very important, because it's not about selling. Selling's a part of your marketing. It's about communicating the strengths that you've got to complement other people's weaknesses. And many people have strengths, others have weaknesses, and we can all complement and help each other if we can get our message out to those that we can actually help and assist. What's your thoughts on it, Stephen?
I think, yeah, marketing is basically being able to reach out to people and get them to know, like, and trust you. It's not something that happens overnight. You actually build a reputation, and Fraser's built his reputation by helping people around the globe with their businesses. My reputation is built on helping people with live video. It's all about helping people, and the marketing takes place as if, well, it's basically part of the fact that you are going and reaching out to people, offering your expertise. That's basically, as an individual, that's basically it. I think it's personal, isn't it, Fraser?
Yeah, and I think if we were to look at entertainment, just entertainment in itself, if you were to go back 100, 150 years ago, a family would be entertained in the parlor room, the front room of the house, where they would all stand around the piano and there'd be the old sing-song. But nowadays, people still want to be entertained, and it's true with marketing in that the needs of the audience remain constant. It's the way in which we satisfy those needs that actually change. For example, a family might want entertained 150 years ago. They have the sing-song in the parlor, but now you've got everything from Xbox to podcasts to going to the cinema to playing board games. There's so many ways that we can satisfy the needs of wanting to be entertained that everything's happening at breakneck speed. Everything is happening at breakneck speed. Some people get overwhelmed by it, but then again, they used to say that jobs are no longer for life, and that's clearly been evidenced by COVID and the many businesses where people have been furloughed, laid off, paid off, or made redundant. But there's opportunity for life, and we can seek out these opportunities online with the tools and resources that are available to us to create the opportunities that we want. And we can market ourselves and our products and services in this ever-changing dynamic marketplace and get real-time information to aid us to research, spot, and capitalize on these opportunities.
Yeah. What sort of challenges do people face?
Oh, golly. Well, if we look at it from another point of view, many people who may suffer from feast or famine syndrome, where they're getting a lot of business one month and then the next month it's dead, or the following month it's really quiet. And many people all of a sudden tend to find themselves in a situation where they want to know how to do something. How do I generate backlinks, traffic? How do I increase my rankings? How do I generate signups, registrations? How do I have conversations, get people to come to my funnel, sign up? How do I build my list? There's lots of how to. However, the how to element is the last part of what you should be doing with your marketing. That's your tactical implementation. So before that, we need to think about the plan. Now, I've had 2 different Zoom chats this morning, and in both conversations, I asked the individuals, so what's the plan for this year? Not only did they not have a plan, and they didn't have a written plan for last year, they were unsure what they have available in order to create a plan. And this is what's really important. Before we get to the tactical implementation and wondering and getting confused and overwhelmed by all the technology that's out there and all this change that's happening, we need to think, what resources have we got available? What time do we have? What technical resources, financial resources, and human resources do you have people around you in a team that you can delegate or automate certain tasks? And if so, how do we include that in the plan? And yes, we can include the different tactics and our routes to market and what we're going to be doing, but most importantly, before the plan, we need to know why it's not working at the moment. Why are you not getting the conversations that you want over Zoom? Why are you not getting the signups? Why are you not getting the registrations or generating the cash flow that you want or need at this particular point in time? So for me, the biggest challenge for people is they're getting confused, they're getting overwhelmed, they don't know where to start because they're too busy thinking about how am I going to generate leads, how am I going to get sales, how am I going to pay for this, do that. So stop. And I think for many people, it's all about identifying where they're at with their actual business at the moment and taking stock and conducting a situation analysis or an audit to ask the pertinent questions that they haven't asked themselves. And they should be doing that in particular to do with their business model, and then to start focusing in on putting the plan together, making sure they've got the right resources, and then start thinking about the tactical implementation.
Right. I think it's time to actually, because Corinda has prompted us, Corinda's watching this on Amazon Live, and Corinda has prompted us to actually select a book and start talking about it. So where shall we begin, Fraser, in terms of books?
Let's start with Martech Simplified, actually, because that's the one with the little funnel and the robot in the front.
Yep.
And I think
it's now highlighted.
I think it's an important starting point for many people because in the last 18 to 20 odd months, COVID and the COVID pandemic has greatly affected the economic climate worldwide. We've seen entire industry sectors and niches collapse. We've seen many people being made redundant, laid off, paid off. We've seen also a plethora of people wanting to start a business working from home. And what I've done in that book is there's been an emerging market, a huge growth of people wanting to learn how to use the internet and starting a business. But more importantly, there's been an emerging market has come together with marketing and technology. And they have fused together to create the Martech industry, which is now worth $121 billion per annum. And in this book, I've tried to simplify all things marketing and all things marketing technology by splitting it into 4 sections. And for those who are watching live, or if you're watching this on replay, if you grab a pen and write these down, I think you'll find this quite interesting. The first part is your business model. You need to understand your business model, the problems you solve, who the recipients of your products, services, and solutions are, your revenue streams, the resources you have, your routes to market, and how and what you're going to be doing into step 2, which is your customer journey. So step 1, it's all about your model, because phenomenal changes have happened in the last year to 2 years, and people have had to revisit and revise their business model. The staff are now working from home. They've now got to have a unified communication strategy. Are they communicating via Microsoft Teams? Are they using Zoom? Are they using BeLive? What are they using video as part of their communication strategy? So get the model sorted out and your revenue streams and how you're generating revenue. Then we need to think about the customer journey. What are you doing to attract customers, retain them, in order to upsell them and keep them? What's the nurture sequence and how are you automating that? And once you're very clear on your customer journey, we need to think about your Martech Stack. Now, this is an interesting phrase, and it's also partly of the name of the business. It's stacksup.com, because your Martech Stack is where you have a stack of software, lots of different apps, widgets, lots of different tools and resources that you're bringing together and using APIs and other software to help take a collection of what are now close to 10,000 different solutions online and try to get the best parts of each of these to help you to create your marketing funnel, to help you to automate your system. So a Martech Stack is where you take all these wonderful technological solutions and break them down into 6 clearly identified areas. 1 is advertising and promotion. 2 is your social and relationships. 3 is your content and that experience that you want people to have. Sales and commerce, and how you're going to be having conversations with people and how you're going to ideally automate the sales process of your presence and your branding and that customer experience you want people to have online. And then data. Many people, when it comes to setting up their business online, having their presence, they might add a cookie policy. They might even go as far as a privacy center. But what are they doing in order to protect their customer data, to segment their customer data, to exploit the customer data in terms of being able to create and extend the lifetime value of that name, that contact, that customer that they've added to their list? And then, of course, there's the management as part of your Martech Stack. So these 6 areas have a number of different technical solutions out there on the web. And what we've done with itstacksup.com is we've simplified all of this into the 4 areas: your business model, your customer journey, your Martech Stack, and then your marketing strategy, that plan that we spoke about earlier, so that you know why your marketing isn't working. And they can find this out for free with our instant breakthroughs on the website, and then we assist them. And through the book, we help them think about the different areas, the different parts and sections of their model, their customer journey, their Martech Stack, and the technical solutions that we can make available to them to help them start generating the backlinks, the traffic, the signups, the registrations, the appointments, scheduling their appointments, having the conversations, and then being able to follow up automatically with a nurture sequence that they can actually integrate very, very quickly. So it's all about keeping things simple, because in the last 12 to 24 months, many people have been anxious, they've been stressed, they've been frustrated in light of all the change that's going on. There are now many routes to market. Which platforms do I use? What's going to be the best way to get my message out to my intended audience? And all the technology, many people are technophobes. Many people do not want to spend hours or lose hours per day or week or spend a fortune to a lot of techies to help them. So we've tried to simplify all of this as we embrace the change in order to assist us in simplifying, streamlining, and automating our marketing strategy and game plan to give us the returns that we're all looking for. So with Martech Simplified, I think if you haven't fully automated your marketing strategy and you haven't got your plan and you're not quite sure what changes you need to be making to your business model in light of 2021 and COVID and the impact it's been having globally, I think that's a really good starting point for them, Stephen. For you yourself, you've seen a lot of technology changes, even just in the video side of things.
That's it. Trying to keep up is very, very difficult. And you talked about keeping track of how effective the marketing is. And that's one thing. Just want to say thank you to Amazon Live, because I'm still chuffed that I'm actually on Amazon Live on a regular basis, Monday through to Friday. And the Amazon back office is totally amazing. It gives us all the information we need about our live broadcast. Now, you mentioned several products when you're talking about the book, and they're actually featured in the book with explanations. But the one I came across today, in your timeline on Facebook, you see people doing things, your contacts actually doing things. Well, I saw that Ricky Arundel had actually, because we know Ricky from way back, she'd actually posted in a group which is for practicing speaking online, which is Alan Stevens is in there as well. So I joined the group, and there are so many resources that we can tap into. I mean, Ricky was talking about Microsoft Meeting, and you just mentioned it. How important is that in the mix of products to actually make you an effective marketer online? I'll get the words out eventually.
I think if we take marketing, just marketing on its own, you can split it into four. Number one is your message. Number two is your lead generation or your prospecting or your outreach. Number three is your sales and your selling. And then number four is the system. And you can't generate a sale until you've generated a lead. But you can't generate a lead if you haven't got your message persuasively crafted and so that you can engage your target audience. And so many people are out there ill-prepared in order to try and get the sales that they want when they're not generating the leads and they're not generating the backlinks or the traffic because their message hasn't been composed or crafted for the right segment of the audience they're trying to reach. And if they can do all of that, then they need to have the systems in place to help them automate, streamline, and save them time and money as they concentrate on pulling all these systems together and then scaling it up so that they can plan more, they can implement and execute, but they're not becoming a slave to their marketing. Their marketing is working for them, and they're able to get the work-life balance right. Totally.
How important is recorded video in getting the mix right? The use of recorded video on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Yeah, it's not just about live, is it?
No, it's not. And I think one of the best ways to look at it is that people communicate in one of three ways: visually, auditory, and kinesthetically. And when we talk about visually, people like to read things, they like to view things, they like to watch things, whether it's a photograph, whether it's an image, whether it's an article, a blog, whether it's an infographic, whether it's a cinematograph. There's so many things that we can visually interact and engage our target audience, and we can brand it and we can make sure that the information, the sound bites are very interesting. However, we also have, in addition to the live video, we have evergreen. If you've got a content topic, or if you've got something that you want to share with your audience, it can be up there, pre-recorded on your website. So when somebody comes to your landing page, that pre-recorded message can be played on demand. And there are excellent tools out there that can assist you with that. You can use Zoom, record it and save it. You can use BeLive, record it and save it. You've also got things like Canva, where you can actually record, add graphics, and many other twists and turns to make your video impactful. Upload it to a landing page. You can do your own training courses, which you can put onto the likes of Udemy, Skillshare, and other resources that are out there as well. So I think many people, and I cover this in the book, Considering Self-Employment, which I think is down below what we've got on today. And that is, many people forget how much what they know is worth, their own personal value. And here's a little exercise for those who are watching this. I'd like them to try it. And that is, Write down how many years have passed since you've left college, school, or university until today. How many years have passed since getting that first job until today? Write your answer down. Next, I want you to write down what your average salary has been for each of those years over that period. Done that? And then multiply your two answers together and look at that figure. Now, why am I doing this? Because since you've left school, college, or university, got that first full-time job, you have been paid by your boss, the owners of the company, your employer, for the knowledge, wisdom, experience, talent, and skills that you have. And you have accumulated a lot of value in that intellectual capital, that intellectual property that you own, and what you know and how you go about doing what you do, because people have paid you over X amount of years to perform specific tasks and apply your knowledge and learning to it. However, in light of the recent changes and people wanting to go online, and with what they're doing to their business, you can productize and monetize that knowledge, that wisdom, the value of that intellectual capital that you've amassed over those years, and you can start creating multiple revenue streams. And in the book, Considering Self-Employment, we cover many different aspects of that, whether it's Kindle books, whether it's courses, whether it's webinars, whether it's workshops, whether you're selling coaching or consultancy, whether you're doing your consultancy over Zoom, whether you're doing group calls. There are many different ways that you can get a return from the intellectual capital that you personally have amassed, and how you can create different products with the tools that we've already spoken about today, and then share them. You can share them in real time. Using Be Live and Amazon Live. You can record them and share them through your website and other platforms online as well. And don't forget, you can work choosing the hours you want in the comfort of your own home, and you can reach your intended audience with the message that you want to share in solving the problems and solutions that you can fix, address, or solve with this amass of wisdom, talent, and skills that you already possess. You, Stephen, have been doing, how long have you been working in video now, Stephen?
6 years. 6 years. I made the change over from software because I was a software writer before I got involved in this, and I've recently written this program. Thanks, Ian. I'm going to switch your camera off for a moment as you take a break. Basically, I mean, I'm an Amazon Live insider. I value the fact that you're spending time with us today, and I've put together a piece of software for broadcasters everywhere, because one of the things that we have to do as Amazon broadcasters is to feature products on screen. So I've got this piece of software which allows you to actually show products. Now, when I'm doing my normal broadcast, I talk about TrebLab earbuds, I talk about TrebLab portable wireless speakers, and my Microsoft Surface Book 2, okay, and the home gimbal, because I do a lot of mobile video. And if you catch my shows at 9 a.m. Eastern every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, then you'll find out more about these products. I also train people to actually go live on Amazon Live. And in addition to that, as you can see, I've got shows every Thursday with Marco Novo, who you may have seen earlier today, and with Nick on Monday. So I love broadcasting with co-hosts, and Nick is a great co-host, and he's now broadcasting live on Amazon Live most weekdays, and he's going live at 2 a.m. Eastern because he wants to be live at 11 p.m. Pacific. So he's catering to the American market. I mean, we're both Brits. Nick's from Farnborough in Hampshire. And then Nick and I do broadcast together for OneStream, and we're using OneStream to broadcast to Amazon Live today. And I also work for Be Live and teach people how to do live broadcasting. So live broadcasting is my thing, and my guest today as I hide that, is Fraser. We're back.
Well, hey, there we go.
Okay, right. Now, thank you for watching us on Amazon Live. If you've got any questions at all about business, then we're speaking to the right person today. Fraser is a prolific book writer, and we've just been talking about Martech Simplified, which is marketing technology simplified, combining marketing with the latest technology. Which book shall we go to next, Fraser?
Why don't we go to Pipeline, which is all about LinkedIn marketing. Each of the books that we're showing today all of them have reached #1 for their category on Amazon, some more than once. But Pipeline is all about social networking, and it's all about networking on LinkedIn. And that book itself got the #1 in 3 categories in 9 countries, all in the same day. And it logs my journey on LinkedIn and all the different tactics that I've used in working from home and helping small, medium, and large owners, founders, and managers of businesses to help them raise their profile and get their message out to their intended audience. And if we just look at some of the different parts of the platform on LinkedIn, one of the first starting points, obviously, is your profile. And by all means, make sure you've got a header at the top, make sure you've got a photograph. But one area on LinkedIn that served me well is writing articles. And I've now got over 400 different articles on LinkedIn, one of which got over 240,000 views in a single 24-hour period. And Amazon, when LinkedIn started, it had Pulse, where you've got the facility to write an article, and you can still write articles on LinkedIn, but you can also, many people just publish to their feed. And what I want people to think about, and I cover this in the book, is that you can do research to find groups by using the search facility at the top of the page. And by using the search facility, you can find groups using different keywords so that you can publish your articles into the demand. And you can press the 3 dots at the top of your post and you can copy the link. And from that link, you can place it into your groups. You can also use a tool called pingler.com, pingler.com. And any content that you produce online, if you get the URL, paste it into Pingler, it will promote it out to a whole host of different search engines and directories and enable you to generate backlinks and traffic to your content. But a little gem about LinkedIn that many people forget is that they don't follow up the people who view their profile. And you can go to your profile, you can see who's viewed your profile, and simply by clicking on those profiles, not sending them an email, not sending them a PM or a direct message, just by clicking their profile, LinkedIn will follow up and send them a message to say that you have looked at their profile. And if you've got a good eye-catching headline and you're using your profile to qualify or pre-qualify your intended audience, the majority of the work has been done for you automatically. Your profile's there 24 hours a day. And by just looking at a couple of profiles, LinkedIn will send out a message. Now, many people have used lots of different software for automating their direct outreach. And from memory, LinkedIn now limits you to 100 a week. But that's if you're sending messages. Just look at the profiles. Find a segment, find a country, find an industry, a sector, find the role, the position of the types of individuals you want to target. Look at their profiles. If you spent time on your profile, they'll want to read it. And as they read it, they qualify them, and you can invite them in to have a free conversation over Zoom. You can invite them to your free webinar. You can invite them to download your free item of value, your lead magnet, your digital asset. And LinkedIn has hundreds upon hundreds of millions of potential business-to-business customers. So social networking, yes, you've got Facebook as well. And many of these platforms are limiting and restricting your reach. But with LinkedIn, don't just think about your feed. If you change your settings, not only can you publish to your own network, but you can publish to everybody on LinkedIn. And with a little bit of forethinking using tools like answerthepublic.com, you can actually find the keywords. And of course, you can use hashtags on LinkedIn. Many people don't use the hashtag facility. Do a search for a keyword, look for the hashtag of that keyword, and you could find a segment of many millions of people who have subscribed to that hashtag. And each time you write a post, you write an article, you upload a document or a video, or you answer somebody else's post or respond, by including the hashtag, it will get published into the feed of that hashtag, opening up the many millions of other people that you can reach. And more importantly, cut and paste the URL of your post and push it out to Pingler. Because if you've done your research, you've got your keywords, if your content is engaging, and if it leads back to your profile, you can very quickly start to generating the results that you want online.
Brilliant. I just want to take a moment. Thank you, Angel, saying my image is frozen. So, question, Fraser, am I moving?
Yeah, you're fine, Stephen.
Right. Okay. Now, basically, it's hopefully I'm okay. Good. Right. That's good. Okay. So LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is a place I've dabbled in. I've rewritten my profile and read your book, but it's one of those areas. I mean, like anything, Fraser, you've got to have a focus, haven't you? You can't focus on everything because that's the road to madness. You've got to decide which platform you're actually going to be proactive on, the one that you're actually going to focus on.
I think that's very true, Stephen. And even if we just take LinkedIn for a second, I generated 1,142 new subscribers in a 5-day period in between Christmas and New Year. And I did that on LinkedIn. And because they have a facility to help you. When you publish an article, you can include it in your organization's newsletter. And what happens is you can allow LinkedIn to reach out to all your first tier, your first level contacts, to tell them that you've just written an article and it's going out in your newsletter. Now, the interesting thing about that is you can choose to send out your newsletter either weekly or monthly to allow LinkedIn to notify your first tier or your first level contacts that you've got new content for your contacts to look at. And it will take many people in your network, because I'm up to about 12,000 now in my network, and I'm trying to pull more qualified people out of all this general collection of people who are interested in absolutely wanting to hear what I've got to say. And they're all newly subscribing into wanting to receive my articles. And other people who are on LinkedIn, I certainly think your articles and publishing it into the newsletter facility on LinkedIn this year is going to be very exciting.
Right. Okay. So just because I'm behind on LinkedIn. LinkedIn have now got the ability to send out newsletters to your subscribers.
Correct. And what it does when you place an article on LinkedIn, and if you go to my profile on LinkedIn, if you're watching the show today, you'll be able to see on recent activity some of the articles that I've put up. And when you publish an article now on LinkedIn, you get the choice to whether you're doing it as a person individually or whether it's going into your organization's newsletter. And that then gives you the option to tell your network that your newsletter has just been published for that week or that month. And you can invite people to subscribe. And 1,142. And another interesting statistic, in the middle of a pandemic between Christmas and New Year, a 5,000% increase in people who viewed my profile. We've just spoken about what you need to do if people view your profile. It leads to conversations. It leads to you helping people who are frustrated in their industry sector or niche with the skills that you've got to help them achieve their goals and objectives. And that's what I do with marketing and with itstacksup.com.
Brilliant. Okay, so pipeline is LinkedIn. Where do we go next, Fraser?
Well, for me personally, what I like to do is I try to share something of value, something of interest, that people who are suffering from a lack of backlinks, traffic, sign-ups, downloads, appointments, leads and sales, I try and give them a little snippet, a little sample of what I do and how I do it. And then I invite them to have a conversation with me. Or, of course, they can go to the website, itstacksup.com, and they can sign up for my free webinar where they see some case studies, some results, some of the insights to some of the keynotes I've done now on 3 continents, and how I've helped different people in many different facets of their marketing. And then, of course, we can have that conversation where I can point and lead them to how I might be able to help them. But it's their business, they're in control, they make the decisions, and we focus on what's not working. And it's the perfect way to hold me accountable. It's not about what you can do, could do, or might do. It's a case of let's do it and score it off the list and go on to the next thing, because many people are busy, stressed, tired, overwhelmed with everything that's going on. And we're all about simplifying Martech marketing and technology to help you get the results you want. And it's really simple.
Excellent. Okay, right. Let's go to next book, Facebook groups. Totally different approach, I expect.
Facebook groups. I think you'll remember, Stephen, I started the Facebook group and I think I got 30 people in the first 24 hours. Then it went to 100, and I've now got 2,500 people in over 40 countries around the globe. And we're just at the start of the year, so many people are still hibernating. They're still wondering what they're going to be doing. But in that book, I've logged my own journey on Facebook from scratch, from when I thought about writing the book. And an interesting point, as I was putting the group together, I was screen grabbing what I was doing. I documented the process. I put it into a book. And from the Wednesday to the Sunday night, I put the book together. And instead of watching the final episode of Line of Duty to find out whether H was the bad guy or who the bad guy was going to be, I published it on Amazon, and I got the book into the top 10 on the Monday morning. So Facebook groups, that book is all about how simple it is and what the steps you need to take. And there's some juicy nuggets in there as well. 50 ways of 50 types of content that you can share in your groups, 19 ways to get engagement, many different things to get you thinking, including, if you may have seen some of the videos that I've put up on LinkedIn and, of course, on my Author Central profile on Amazon. Each of the videos that I've put up have been created in PowerPoint, believe it or not. And in that book about Facebook groups, I share how to create your own videos in PowerPoint. And I got an email from a lady in France who'd been trying to rent out her chateau to get people either to hire it, rent it, or to attend courses there. And she followed the steps in the book to make her own videos. And lo and behold, she's now been getting reservations for her chateau in France. So you can make videos for many different, and yes, there are different tools out there, but in that book in particular, I help people to create the videos, share them in their Facebook group, how to get people to join the group, how to welcome them, and to get them speaking, conversing, engaging, and turning up to your own live events. And we've done a few of them last year where we're testing different things and getting people to come up via Be Live in Facebook. But we've noticed a marked change in what Facebook's doing with live video, and we're getting a great feedback and response with Amazon Live now as well.
That's true. I mean, we had a situation in 2021 where somebody at Facebook took a decision, and that decision was not to give the reach to people who've been broadcasting on the platform a long time. And we know that the number of views on Facebook has gone down, whereas the number of views on Amazon, and thank you everybody who's watching live on Amazon today, just skyrocket. I mean, they leave Facebook, YouTube and Twitter in the shade because Amazon is the place where people actually watch live video now. It is the place to go. I mean, if I just go down to the carousel at the moment, we are talking about product. Okay, and we're talking about Fraser's book today, but just as an aside, the broadcast you're actually watching today, I'm excuse me, Fraser, commercial break. I'm broadcasting today from my Logitech Brio camera, which is sat on the BenQ monitor, which is above me. And Logitech Brio is the top end of Logitech range of cameras. It's capable of 4K, but you can't broadcast in 4K because we don't have the internet structure to be able to do that. So we're broadcasting to you today in 720 on Amazon Live. Now that is DVD quality. So it's still high quality, but it's not the best you can get. But the thing is that by broadcasting at 720, we're being mobile friendly because we know a lot of people actually watch our broadcasts on mobile. And if you're on mobile, your data may be capped and you may have a limit on what you can do on the internet on your mobile phone. If I was in a high resolution, if I was in 1080p, say, as opposed to 720, which is high definition, it's the sort of best broadcast quality you can get is 1080p. It's best. But if I was doing that, then everybody watching on mobile would be seeing a clearer picture of me, but that's at a cost, and it's a genuine cost because there's twice as many pixels being transmitted as are on it. And 720, which is what Amazon is at. So Logitech Brio camera can do 4K. You can record in 4K. You can watch back in 4K. Recorded video, not a problem at all. But most of the platforms that we use, be it Facebook or Amazon, are at 720p. It's only YouTube which goes out at a clearer 1080p. Camera itself is plug and play. It's USB. You just plug it into your Mac or to your PC, and it will simply work. I mean, I've had Logitech Brio cameras for the last 6 years. They are so reliable and they just simply perform well. And as you can see now, the quality of the picture, hopefully if I'm moving slightly, okay, you can see the quality of the picture that you can get on a Logitech camera. The other thing that's important when we're live broadcasting, as I move in the carousel, is the microphone. Now, this is a matter of choice. This is how it sounds to you that counts. Nothing else matters. Okay. Now, I was watching a broadcast on Facebook by my good friend Mike Phillips, and he's a well-known podcaster. And podcasters are very, I was going to say finicky, but that's not the right word. They want great quality sound because you're only listening to them, you're not actually seeing them. So they need to have good quality sound. And he was using the microphone that's down the carousel at the moment, which is the Audio Technica AT2020. And I listened to it and I thought, wow, that's a great sound, good bass, good rich sounding microphone. So I said to Mike, well, which microphone are you using? And he wrote straight back and he said, I'm using the Audio Technica AT2020. Here's a link to the microphone on Amazon. I bought it the following day. It was delivered the day after that. I've been using it now for 18 months. I've had no problems at all with the Audio Technica microphone. It's plug and play, as with the camera. You just plug it in and it's recognized by your system. And it's just good quality. Now, it is important because if you're doing live broadcasting or you're on a Zoom call, people have got to be able to hear you clearly, which means you've got to have a good microphone. The microphones that we get in our desktop or our Macs or laptops are okay. They're fine. They're fine for calling people. But when you're in a broadcast situation, be it Zoom or live on Amazon or live on Facebook or YouTube, then you need to have that high quality audio so that people will continue to listen. And if you go on a Zoom call, you can tell, you can tell who, there's nothing wrong in it, but you can tell who's using your internal microphone and who's using an external microphone. There is a world of difference in the quality of the sound. So those two products, camera and microphone, just if any of my fellow Amazon insiders are watching, I think that if we feature our cameras and microphones in every broadcast we do, then we're giving people a chance to actually check out how we're broadcasting to Amazon Live using our camera and microphones. So if you have any questions about the camera or the microphone or any of Fraser's books, then please do ask. Okay, right. So that's the camera and microphone slot, and we're back to the books, Fraser. Where should we go next?
Let's go to social media strategy.
Okay. Right. And this is important in 2022, isn't it? You explain why.
It is, because if you think about radio, it took 30 years to reach umpteen million people. Television, 20 years to reach umpteen million people. Newspapers, it took decades to reach umpteen million people. But now with the platforms online, your reach to umpteen million people can be in minutes and hours, not years and decades. But we need to be clear in terms of what your message is that you want to send out, who you want to reach in terms of your target audience, what are the demographics, the psychographics, the geographics, where are they based, what are the problems, pains, needs, and frustrations you can solve, and more importantly, and this is one that everybody forgets, even if you know who your audience is and you've got your message right, and you know that they communicate either visually, auditory, or kinesthetically, your content might be missing out on 66% of the potential leads that you can generate if you're sending out the wrong message to the wrong audience and the wrong communication style that they like. And even if you correct that and you've got a visual message for people who like to read, watch, or view your content, think about their information needs. Do they like white papers, theses? Do they like long ebooks? Or do they like bullet points? Do they like graphs, testimonials? Think how you're going to package your content and publish into the demand. And at this point, when it comes to your marketing strategy, and we'll get to the tactics in just a second, because there are many, many different tactics that we cover in the book, real, practical, sound, step-by-step tactics that you need to take. However, 5 quick questions. Are you happy with the return on investment that you're getting from your marketing, your Martech, or social media? Be honest with yourself. Write down your answer. Are you happy with the return on investment you're getting? No? Then you need to think about one of those books below, or get in touch via the website at itstacksup.com. But more importantly, are you getting the conversations and appointments and sales that you want online based on the amount of time, effort, commitment, and investment that you're making getting your message out to your audience? Are you getting the sales, the leads, the appointments, and conversations that you want? No? Then I strongly recommend you sign up for our free webinar on the website, or get in touch to experience a free instant breakthrough. So if you're not getting the ROI and you're not getting the sales and the appointments and the leads that you want, what about the signups and the registrations? What about the backlinks? Are you getting the right amount that you want or need for your business, for the products, services, and solutions that you offer? Yes? No? Write it down. But more importantly, traffic sources. Many people use an abundance of different ways to reach their marketplace, their routes to market, the way they're going to generate traffic to pull people to their website. And in that book, Social Media Marketing Strategy, we list a whole host of different ways how you can bundle and package your content to publish into the demand. And we touch on various research tools to help you to find where your audience are, what the buzz is, what's hot, what's in. And I call it TNT because it's dynamite. It's TNT, trends, needs, and technology. You can use Google Trends to find out what the trends are that people are searching for. Google.com/trends. Needs. You can use answerthepublic.com to find out what the needs are of your public, your audience. And you can find out what they're typing in, the questions they're asking, to give you very detailed keyword research that you can put those same questions into your pages so that people searching can see that you're asking the question, providing answers to give them the solutions to the problems they may have. And then T, the technology. You need to make sure that you can simplify your Martech, your marketing technology. There's a lot out there. There's a lot to choose from. Many are expensive. There are many large, big brand software solutions. But what we feel we've done is combine all of that, the marketing mindset, the marketing strategy, the tactics, and the automation all together into one solution to help you generate backlinks, traffic, to generate the appointments, the leads, the sales, and to give you the peace of mind that you want as you start getting your thinking down on paper and that paper into action and results for 2022.
Indeed. And if you don't have an action plan, then you're just wandering about, aren't you? Meandering from one to another. You're not coming back to the word again, being focused.
Yeah, and I think that's very true. In fact, somebody was speaking to me earlier in the week, and they were saying that how things had gone completely pear-shaped for them in light of COVID, and they were all doom and gloom, and they were very down about it. And I said to them, well, there's another take on that. Life is happening for you, not to you. And if you've just joined us live, or if you're watching this on replay, this might just be an excellent opportunity for you to take control of your marketing using the technology that we've touched on and the tools that Stephen's spoken about, by getting the right marketing mindset and also having the strategy that you need, using the different tactics that we've been sharing to help you start generating the results that you want. And we've got loads of tactics, regardless whether you're a plumber, whether you're a manufacturer, whether you're an e-tailer, whether you're providing a service online.
Right, that brings us neatly into considering self-employment.
Absolutely, because with COVID, we've seen many doors having to close. We've seen industries, entire industries desecrated. For example, hospitality, travel. Many people who have been commuting, they've even spent thousands of pounds on their season train ticket to get them to work, back from work. They've been leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning, getting back 9, 10 o'clock at night. Many have given that up to work from home. Now what? They're just starting out on their entrepreneurial journey. And yes, we've talked about the value of the wisdom, the knowledge, the skills, and the talents that you've got. But how do you get that out into the marketplace? And in considering self-employment, many people have seen many celebrities and TV programs and watch various webinars and things online. And many people make it simple and easy for you. But be rest assured, you're going to have pain, grief, hassle. You're going to have to make so many sacrifices and get yourself into a modus operandi and learn from your mistakes before things start falling into a pattern where you can actually start feeling comfortable doing what you do and helping others. And with considering self-employment, what I've done there is help people learn about KVI. And here's a quick exercise for you if you've got a pen and you're watching this now. I want you to draw a little triangle. And in the triangle, put 3 letters, one at each corner of your triangle. The letter K, the letter V, and the letter I. And I want you to think about your business, working from home, doing what you're doing. And I want you to think about KVI. And below your triangle, write the following numbers. Maybe write them underneath each other. 0, 10, 20, 50, 100, 250, 500, 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000 plus. So you've got your triangle and the 3 letters, and you've written all those numbers underneath. And in my book, Considering Self-Employment, I get you to think about what these 3 letters mean. And they actually mean knowledge. The K is knowledge, the V is velocity, and I is implementation. Because I want you to, it doesn't matter whether you're an e-tailer, you're bricks and mortar, it doesn't matter whether you're selling a service, consultancy, coaching, whether you're an author. I want you to think about your lifetime value and your routes to market and also your revenue streams. People want to know what you know. They want your knowledge. And many people share their knowledge, a bit like what we're doing today in our live broadcast here on Amazon. We're sharing some of the things that we know. And many people want to know that for you. They want to know what you know. And we start at 0. And roughly 0 up to about £250, you can share your knowledge and package that knowledge in a number of different ways. For example, you might have a lead magnet, you might have a free item of value, an article or a video that you can offer at zero for free. You might have a Kindle book, a paperback book, you might have a hardback book, an audio book you might offer between £5 and £10. But think how you can package your knowledge. You might have a report, you might have a CD or a DVD, you might have a download, a PDF that you offer from your website, or you might have a course, 50, 100. You might charge £200 or £500 for an hour of your time to share your knowledge in one-to-ones via Zoom or Be Live or some other tools like Skype, etc. And then velocity. There are two variables with velocity, speed and direction. And that falls into coaching, helping and supporting. And think how you can help and support others and how you can package that help and support. And then last but not least, I stands for implementation. And many people watching this live or in the replay need to think about, if you're exchanging your time for money, charging an hourly rate or providing a service, your revenue is completely taken up by your time being mortgaged. So many people send out quotes or they respond to inquiries, but let's think about your implementation and providing the service can be split into four: an audit or a diagnostic. Sometimes in the enterprise level consulting game, it's called a discovery, where you can actually charge to understand your customer's problems. Then you would do the plan, charge to write the plan and your recommendations, instead of just sending out free proposals for them to read the plan that you're recommending without paying for it. And then the execution. And last but not least, review. We need to review all the time. We need to count, monitor, and measure. We need to look at all the different metrics, whether it's Google, whether it's the pixels we're using for our advertising on Facebook, LinkedIn, and the other platforms that you're using. So with that, in that book, Considering Self-Employment, we take the key VI model. We help you map out your different revenue streams. We assist you to get your price points right. And then, of course, with the other books, we can help you get that message out to your intended audience as well. Stephen.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm here. I'm just in the studio trying to get things sorted so that we are presentable. Okay. Now, the thing that gets me is the wonders of technology. I'm in Wiltshire in England. Where are you, Fraser?
I'm based in Buckie, 60 miles north of Aberdeen in the Highlands of Scotland.
Right, my next question then. Is it snowing today?
Not yet. Not yet.
You expect it to?
Absolutely. I'm 30 feet from the North Sea, so I'm used to seeing dolphins, otters, and seals, but it's really cold out there, I can tell you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going into the sea today. That's for sure. I mean, the nearest water we've got is the canal, which runs from Bristol to London, about 120 miles of canal. And I used to bring the goods in at Bristol off the ships in America, and then on to the barge, and then they go from Bristol through Devizes and carry on to the River Thames and then up to London. And that's how commerce used to be run. And then the railway came in. The railway changed everything, because I'll just meander for a moment. The railway changed the way that business was run and commerce was done. Instead of actually transferring the goods by water from Bristol to London, the railways took all the goods on board. And instead of taking days to reach London, it could be done in hours. And as technology improved and the trains got faster and faster, it could be done even in shorter times. So trade has progressed over the years, and technology has taken us to a whole new level, where Fraser can be in Buckie in Scotland, I can be in Wiltshire in England, and you're watching us live in the USA. And I'd like to say a big thank you to Corinda, who's been commenting throughout the broadcast today. And Corinda's saying he's in social media marketing, he needs to buy the book. You certainly do, Corinda. Fraser, Corinda has just followed you. And he agrees that this is all about sharing knowledge.
Yeah, and people share their knowledge in a whole host of different ways, as we've touched on. If you just take video, for example, it could be pre-recorded video, it could be live video, it could be video networking, it could be in a video message, it could be a still video on your LinkedIn profile. And that also comes to think of all the documents you've created over the years, guys. Whether you've created a Word document, a PDF, an Excel spreadsheet, you've got so much intellectual property that you've got written down and created that you haven't thought about uploading it yet. And there are excellent sites like slideshare.net where you can upload your content for free. And with the click of a button, you can share that content to pingler.com and all the major search engines and directories. You can send it out to LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can also take the URL of your content and you can add it into your LinkedIn profile. And of course, you can share it on various resources and platforms online as well. So think about other platforms and how you can get the cumulative benefit by posting a piece of content that you may have written a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, maybe top and tail the intro and the conclusion, the call to action, change the document, save it with the keywords in the document name when you save it, add them into the file properties, and then upload it to SlideShare. And then from there, you could share that content, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and by doing the research for your keywords, you'll even get it found on Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So there's just one little sample way how you can package your content. But of course, document sharing on SlideShare is just one tactic, and there's a plethora of tactics, whether it's social networking, blogging, article writing, whether you're actually using live video, streaming video, whether you're a guest panelist in an online summit, whether you're a guest blogger on somebody's platform, whether you're doing your own show or you're hosting your own webinars. There are a number of different ways, but don't be scared to test it, because many of these things can be done free. And being a Scotsman, you want to look after the pennies and not waste the pounds. I'm sure many people are the same. There's lots of things you can do. And in the books that we make available today in the carousel, there are lots of low cost and no cost tactics that you can test immediately to start raising your profile, generating backlinks, and to start having conversations with people who need what you have to offer, which is what it's all about.
Brilliant. And people know who we are by now. I'll take that off. And we have a visitor from North Carolina. So hello, North Carolina. Thank you for commenting, and thank you for actually joining us today. Well, Fraser, that's been a tour de force. Okay, because you've been sharing information, as Corinda said, freely. I'd like to. It's always a pleasure when we get together. I'd like to say thank you for joining me today. I think there's a lot more to go, isn't there, Fraser?
We've got a lot, and between the two of us, I think this year with what we're teeing up nicely for sharing online, we've got a lot coming. And please, anybody who's watching, if you're not getting the ROI, the sales, the appointments, the leads that you want, if you haven't got your strategy in place, if you've not got the right mindset and you're trying to get into the saddle, if you want to revitalize your marketing activities, or if you want to revisit your business model in light of COVID and prepare and get your ducks in a row for 2022, then please get in touch either via my LinkedIn profile or at the website itstacksup.com, and please sign up for the free webinar I offer on the site. Or of course, you've got access to the books below here on Amazon to help you. And I've got a funny feeling there'll be a few more of these live shows that we'll do coming up this year. What do you think, Stephen?
I think we could do at least one a month, Fraser, and come here on the same time Friday afternoon. I'd just like to say thank you to person who just followed me on Amazon. That's absolutely brilliant. You'll get notified when I next go live. And from the same person, I think, great info, guys. But the info is from Fraser, and it's been our pleasure today. Fraser, would you like to close today's broadcast?
Just a big hearty thanks, guys. And remember, life's happening for you, not to you. And if you found us today, it's happened for a reason. And I want you to follow through. I want you to start getting your mindset, strategy, automation, and tactics in place for this year, because you know the value of what you've got. We just need to tell other people just how good you are. So get in touch via the website at itstacksup.com.
Okay. Indeed. And you can catch me on Amazon Live, 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Thursday is all about Amazon products. And then on Friday, we mix it up a bit. Just to say that Fraser just said he's in Bucky in north of Aberdeen. Also from Aberdeen, arriving here next Friday is Mr. Peter Stewart. I'm looking forward to chatting with Peter. We're bringing some products with him that he's bought on Amazon and enjoyed using. Thank you, everybody, for your time today. Have a great rest of your day, because it's still early where you are. It's 4 o'clock where we are. So from Scotland and England, it's goodbye from now, and we'll see you again soon. And thank you for joining.